The strongest storm yet, the third of three systems hitting Metro Vancouver as we speak. One forecaster saying this storm has the potential to rival the Stanley Park devastation of 2006.
Wind gusts hit 120 kilometers an hour then, and that could happen again tonight. But the direction of the storm could change. Certain parts of the Lower Mainland will get hit worse than others. Good evening, and breaking news to begin with. The Vancouver Park Board has announced that Stanley Park will be closed tonight as the storm moves in.
It comes after a number of BC ferries were canceled, and tonight BC Hydro crews are bracing for the worst. Penny Daflos begins our coverage live at Stanley Park, where the winds are kicking up tonight. Penny.
And so is the rain. As you can see, it's really coming down, but it is those winds that the park board is most concerned about. We're talking 70 to 90 kilometer-an-hour winds, gale force winds, starting around 8 o'clock tonight, going all the way up to 110 kilometer-an-hour gusts. That's what they're concerned about, and they tell me that if that starts sooner than they're expecting, they're ready to shut down the park at a moment's notice. And before you start thinking that maybe that's not too windy, have a look at this. This 50-pound tree branch came down yesterday just with the force of yesterday's winds. Tonight is expected to be much more ferocious. Here's what a senior park board official had to say.
We're always very concerned. We have crews on standby around the city. We have 2 crews on the south side, 2 crews on the north side, 1 in Stanley Park. We have loaders and a beach machine on standby. We work with our partners in engineering as well if we need backup. So yeah, I'm very concerned.
Now, Mounties are urging drivers throughout the Lower Mainland to slow right down, take it easy on roads all over the place. They have concerns about tree branches and debris, as well as localized flooding due to heavy downpours. For anyone using transit over the next few hours, there's potential for delays there as well. At the moment, everything seems to be on schedule, but at the height of the wind troubles yesterday, downed trees and branches slowed SkyTrain and bus service right down in some areas. In particular, tonight, TransLink is keeping an eye on winds around the Skybridge linking New West and Surrey. If they surpass 100 kilometers an hour, they may shut it right down, something that's never happened in the history of SkyTrain before. So officials throughout the Lower Mainland keeping a close eye. I don't know if you can hear, but we've got a strong wind gust coming through right now. So we're keeping an eye on what's happening here and elsewhere. And I want to hear from you. What's going on in your community? Send me a message through email, or you can tweet at me to let me know what's going on. And remember, we've got a rainfall warning and a wind warning in effect right now, so we could have a double whammy tonight. Scott, Michelle?
Okay, thanks very much, Penny. We'll check back with you in a little while.
Right, we're also following breaking news involving BC Ferries. The Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal has essentially closed down because of wind concerns tonight.
Sarah McDonald is following this center breaking news center. She has the latest. Sarah.
Well, Scott, a big move from BC Ferries earlier today that left a lot of weekend travelers canceling their plans. Before the storm even hit, BC Ferries canceled every sailing after 3 o'clock this afternoon out of Tsawwassen heading to Swartz Bay, and all sailings between Departure Bay and Horseshoe Bay. Officials don't want a repeat of yesterday, which saw some ferry passengers stuck on board vessels for upwards of 2 hours because the waters were too rough for the ferries to dock. And as you heard earlier, this storm is just beginning, and we'll be tracking it and any property damage and power outages it might cause here in the Breaking News Center throughout our newscast. Guys?
Okay, thanks, Sarah.